I think Phil Matera would be a player who really worries the Carlton defence.
Certainly Kerr's been in excellent form for the Eagles, so that is a surprise. Judd has started on the bench over the last couple of weeks. McIntosh has gone to McKernan.
Beaumont on Peter Matera.
Embley going to full forward for the West Coast Eagles, being picked up by Luke Livingston. In the absence of Troy Wilson, who is out with a broken bone. So, all set for the start of the round 12 clash here at Optus. Cox will be the first man to touch the football. Plunkett, though, first there for Carlton. Gets it on the boot quickly. Pressures there, Bradley. Made good position. Lappin coming in to lend a hand. Goes to ground. Josh Wooden right over the top of him. And umpire Brett Rosebery comes in to have the first bounce of the afternoon. The umpires for today, Brett Rosebery, Corin Rowe and Darren Goldspink will be in charge. Carlton looking for their first win at Optus Oval for the season. More importantly, just a win after having lost 8 in a row. Colliker, ridden into the ground by Hickmott, gets a free kick for a push. Playing on quickly, Fletcher. Not a lot to kick to. Should suit Lance Whitnell. Cousins is coming at him. Whitnell, though, just goes to ground at the wrong time. Camporelli. They move it back through Davies. Thornton, nice kick to Lappin. Quickly moving it on the Blues. Lappin, high ball inside 50. No one there, though. Cox, it suits for the Eagles, coming across McKernan, did enough to bring it to ground. Glass with a fumble. Cox goes to ground once more. Hickmott wants the free kick. He's not going to get it.
I think that's, Matthew, just interrupting, I think that's a terrific sign there that Adrian Hickmott, he was penalised just a second or so earlier, but his determination to try and hold the ball alive for the Blues in their forward 50 is going to be important. He's a very, very hard-working player, not blessed with a lot of basic skills, but by gee, he's got a big heart. Lappin, the crumbing forward, hand pass, missed its target. Chance here for Jones, gets through the pack there, kicks it out wide. Terrific play, like this boy. Hand pass away, in towards the pocket. Davies goes back towards Fletcher, missed his target, and in helping there was Plunkett, but the boundary line looms up. And he takes it across. It will be thrown in about 65 to 70 metres around from the Carlton goal. No score in this game as yet. And Trent Houghton and Brendan Favola did start on the bench, Tony, for the Blues.
And also Anthony Franchini's got a big job on David Wiraponda.
Here's the experience for the Blues, combining Bradley and Ratton to Plunkett to half forward, and a simple mark on his chest taken by Peter Matera.
Matera swings it wide. Haynes on a long lead. Does like to lead 40 or 50 metres to get the ball. Short pass is good. This is Williams, back in the side. Embley the target. A little bit of a nudge there for Livingston, good enough. And he was in the right spot and takes a mark. Young Livingston out wide to the wing. Whitnell the target, Cox with the spoil. Ground level, Fletcher. Got it to McKay. McKay kept it in cleverly. Suits Glass, though. Back inside to Jakovic. Jakovic didn't have a lot of game time last week after coming back with that irregular heartbeat the week before. Out in front of Gasper. Gasper, good kick, managed to hook it back. Chance now for the Eagles. It goes over the back of Embley. This is where they perhaps wanted Philip Matera. Miranda tried to keep it in, but was unsuccessful. They'll have a ball up deep inside the West Coast Eagles forward line. No score as Daniel Kerr looks on.
Very early in the piece, though, but you can see both centre-half forward areas for both sides. They're falling down early. Someone who gets a dominance in that area could go a long way to winning this game.
Boundary throw in right in front of the Social Club here at Optus Oval. Desperate there was Merrington, got past and then delivered the ball beautifully out wide, but chipping in short. The Eagles have got a chance here through Wooden. He's tackled by Bradley. Did he have the ball long enough? He did, and the umpire gave him the chance to get rid of it. He was unsuccessful there, so the free kick is paid to Bradley. Bradley looking for someone just to protect him. Now Plunkett. Plunkett goes in towards the middle. Merrington has had a couple of possessions. No one to kick to, so he's got to hold it up. Now Whitnell goes out wide, and the mark not taken by Hickmott, but he's able to recover. Gets back onto the left. Thumps it in towards the goal square. Chance here for Beaumont. Couldn't take the mark. Has he been paid? By gee, it was close. I don't quite know whether he controlled that football all the way to the ground. I got the impression that it may have slipped out of his grasp and hit the turf.
Well, I thought the ball fell between his legs and did hit the ground. It was a good effort first up, but no, he did hold it between his legs and it didn't hit the ground, matter of fact, on replay. So great mark to Simon Beaumont.
Is it Go on, Robbo.
Well, magical stuff by Simon Beaumont, and he gets the goal. Important start for the Blues, a goal to Beaumont. And one remembers as a result of that, I know he's running back towards a defensive position, maybe playing on centre wing. I think we noted that he could have started on Peter Matera on centre wing. But one remembers a performance a couple of years ago when he kicked 8 goals in the first term against the Magpies at the MCG.
Yeah, thanks for that, Robbo, because I was coaching at the time. And you wouldn't think that a man of his nature playing out of defence would kick 8 goals. Thank you very much.
First blood of the afternoon to Simon Beaumont, his 3rd goal for the season, playing his 101st game straight. But a clever mark, just managed to keep control of it before it hit the ground. Merrington wins this one. Plunkett again, that's his 2nd clearance so far. Bradley almost a finger tipper, underneath, kept it alive. Camperelli likes to do likewise. Out in front though, McIntosh has superior pace, and a professional fumble from Ashley McIntosh sees the ball over the line.
Well done, Matty. He did that brilliantly, didn't he, Ashley McIntosh? He knew he would have had to kick on his right foot if he took the ball, so he's just taken across the line. I think one great matchup looks like Ben Cousins. Camperelli's going with Cousins and Banfield's going with Camperelli.
2-on-1 situation that would suit the Blues. Bradley, another goal would suit them, but he's unusual bounce, it stayed in, and eventually it's rushed over for a behind by Adam Hunter.
You know, that's the most amazing thing about Australian football, I'm sure. Most people would have predicted that that ball would have bounced out of bounds, wouldn't they?
If they were watching the World Cup soccer, it would have, because it would have gone straight.
Exactly, and the uniqueness of our game is playing with an oval ball, and it can bounce in any different direction. Of course, it resulted in a behind of the Blues. McIntosh to kick it back in, gets good distance with his advantage from kicking out from a behind, gets it well outside the defensive 50. Chance there for Cousins, hand passes away. Fletcher's left foot kick back towards the wing, bounces past, and there's an opportunity now for Banfield. Merrington applies the pressure, and he will be probably given a little bit of credit there. No, he loosens up the football for Wooden. Hand pass, Jakovic has run all the way down from half back. He has a look, decides to hand pass. Support player, a chance for Miranda, left foot kick by Miranda to the goal square. Oh, it's a good contest, knocked away, back towards half forward. Cox, hand pass, Wirapunda, shot for goal by David Wirapunda. It'll be marked on the line, and that's paid. It's a mark to Andrew Williams, and he's going to have a very tough angle to contend with. The umpire will have him outside the boundary line when he starts his approach to try and kick. Look at that. That is absolutely impossible. There's no space there whatsoever. Have a look. He goes round on the left, and I think he's done it pretty well. I reckon he's stopped the goal. Oh, what a wonderful effort there by Andrew Williams. Kicks the first goal.
Well, Robbo just in the mark. Embley did a great job off the ball. He shepherded his opponent off. You could see the ball still alive here. Young Cox, gee, he got down well for a big fella. Wirapunda keeps the ball alive. But just off the ball here, you'll see some shepherding by a teammate. And I think that that was Embley, so he did a good job for his teammate, and that is a great goal. Open up the face, and a great boomerang kick by Williams.
First goal for the Eagles, a fantastic one for Williams back in this side. 1 point the margin. Cox and Merrington, who's been prominent early. Judd doesn't take long for John Worsfold to put him onto the ground. Good tackle by Beaumont is rewarded.
Gee, he was a bit unlucky there. He had to negate a few tacklers beforehand and just ran straight into Beaumont.
His kick is untidy though, puts Hickmott under some pressure. Judd trying to make amends. Beaumont, well, 1-2 back to Hickmott, out to Mansfield. Quickly plays on, he's got to beat Matera, caught, holding the ball coming up, no play on, he got it away. Peter Matera though keeps his feet. Pushes it out in front of him. Now, this is Haynes. He's got some space to run onto. He's just got to pick it up cleanly. Does it. Good pressure by the Blues. Banfield it falls for. He handballs back into the space. Fletcher towards Cousins. Runs onto it now. Gets around Williams. Cousins. The kick's not bad, and they've made a goal there. Or have they? Just the behind. Almost for Ben Cousins there. So, scores level here at Optus Oval. 1-1 apiece.
The elected kickeroo from a behind as Camperelli gets the ball in towards the half-back flank area. Now Fletcher has the ball down on centre wing. Not a bad crowd here, of course, the away side. The West Coast Eagles visiting from interstate, and the Blues supporters, well, they're showing a bit of loyalty. Their side has only won one match for the season and languishing in last place. 13 minutes. in the first term, remaining 7 points apiece. The goal kicked for Carlton by Simon Beaumont. Andrew Williams kicked an absolute beauty for the West Coast Eagles. Ratton applies the pressure. Underneath all that is Camperelli, can't break away. Will he be penalised? Yes, he will.
Yeah, good decision.
If that's consistent all day, it'll be terrific.
And I think it's good for football because the players won't dive on the ball and hold it in. They'll tap the ball on and we'll get free-flowing play.
Fletcher, the man with the kick, just to the wing. Cox, coming off a very good game last week. Stays up the outer side. Haynes was his target. Good spoil. Down in front, Williams. He's forced over the boundary line.
Yeah, it's great to see also now Drew Bamfield's gone the plunket. That means we've got Cousins and Camperelli running with each other, and you love to see two stars going at it in a game.
This is Gasper. Williams again. Couldn't get his kick. Thornton gave it up. Here's a chance for the Eagles. Wirapunda gave it over to Fletcher. Fletcher, the running shot on goal. Battle in the goal square. Good body-on-body stuff from Livingston and Embley. And the Blues fans happy with the job done by Luke Livingston. Livingston forces a rush behind. So the Eagles take the lead.
Just looking now, Matty, Corey McKernan looks like he might go in the ruck and maybe Merrington push the full forward. Corey's in the centre of the ground for this kick out with McIntosh has gone with him.
There's a picture there, actually, McIntosh and Corey McKernan, as we now see. Kicking in from that result and behind, Scott Camperelli. Ratton couldn't take the mark. Cousins over the top. Here's a chance. Miranda, Wirapunda was there, but Mansfield, strong in defence, gathers the ball and kicks it out towards centre wing. All good contest. Unfairly, according to the umpire. Whitnell it was on his opponent. And the free kick will be taken by Hunter for the West Coast Eagles.
I think he called the mark because if it was a free kick, he would have got advantage. But I think he said he did mark the ball.
Fair enough. So this is Adam Hunter for the West Coast Eagles. Only played a handful of games. Now delivers the ball in towards half forward. Big leap from behind. Must punch there in that position. Luke Livingston by gee whiz. The mark has been taken there by Embley.
It's a free kick.
Free kick, yep.
He's pulled him across the face, but great call, Robbo. And Luke Livingston, I would be watching the runner right now because he had the punch on that occasion. If you've got the leap and you take your man out of position, you can mark the ball. Okay, but that was a 50-50. I've got no doubt the runner will be out to him straight away.
Well, Andrew Embley, the Eagles lead by the rush behind just a few moments ago. Embley can stretch it to 7 points. Philip Matera onto the ground. Bright sunny conditions, cloudy sky here in Melbourne. Wind not really favouring either end. As you can see by the kick there from Embley, gathers good distance. He's disappointed with that result. Another behind on the scoreboard to the West Coast Eagles. They lead by 2 points to the West Coast Eagles, the visiting side to Optus Oval today. The Blues searching for their second victory for season 2002.
12 goals, 11 for Andrew Embley this season. He has missed a few set shots. Long kick is a good one. McIntosh was there. McKernan went for it, couldn't quite take it. High ball, hard one to mark. Good courage shown by all players there. Mansfield, the quick give, missed the body. Haynes wants some support. Williams punches it only as far as Camperelli. Quick kick forward. Favola now on the ground. Lappin in the right spot. Clever, did well, got it out in front of Bradley. Wants to keep it in here. Does so. The veteran back to Lappin. Now finally the kick. One-on-one. Favola pushing back. Good contest. Did enough Favola. Punched it out into the... He was 450. Cox slapped it on nicely. McIntosh got it to Banfield. Open wing that he can run into and kick towards a player on the lead, and that player is Wirapunda. Right with him is Andy McKay. McKay. Well, he wasn't going to hold it in there. One decision's already been given. Back to Williams. Short pass misses the target. It was Embley. This is Merrington. Had some possessions early. Ratton quickly moves it forward for Carlton. West Coast have the numbers, though, through Lappin's legs. Philip Matera, he's on the ground as well. Interchange has been used extensively already. Franchina, the quick give. Plenty of players in there. Plenty of aggression at the ball. And there'll be another ball up with 9.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
And Matty, go back to the kick out for Carlton, and Corey McKernan, he fell awkwardly. He's been limping ever since, and the doctor has been out to him, so we'll just have to watch him in the next couple of minutes. See how he goes at this ruck contest.
He's up against Cox. Punches it out. Lappin, can he get there for the Blues? He can. Gets a lot of distance off one step. Whitnell coming out. Good clash from McIntosh. Camporelli was very clever indeed. Whitnell down on haunches. Bradley got it back to Camporelli. Now looks up, has to kick it long. Beaumont, the goal kicker's there. One-on-one, a wrestle to the ground. Must be a decision somewhere. That's West Coast free, and it goes to Peter Matera.
Yeah, just pulled him out of the contest. One-on-one. Matera had front position.
Jakovic with the ball for the Eagles. Goes short, too short. Well done, Wiggins. Gathers the ball, and good perception too. Instead of blasting away, the young fellow spotted a player in good position further afield, and that is Beaumont. Love to see that in youth, Tony. The fact that he was prepared to look. He didn't go bang. He delivered the ball beautifully. McKernan coming from the field.
Yeah, look, he was hobbling since that kick in, and Francis Leach, of course, will find out what's happening with him. Look, I thought it was a knee or an ankle, but gee, bad disposal by Jakovic.
Beaumont going for goal. Well, just an ordinary kick there by Simon Beaumont. He's kicked a goal and a behind. The Blues 1-2-8. Trailing the Eagles 1-3-9. Just a point in it.
We can have a look there with Corey McKernan. Francis Leach is down on the boundary.
Not quite with us at the moment, Matthew, as the short kick comes in and Cousins marks.
Having a chat to the Carlton doctor, no doubt about that. Cousins to Wooden. He has Jakovic. Long. Hunter there, but coming through late was Gasper. This is Hunter. Dangerous now, deep inside the West Coast forward line. Mansfield, where a punter can't keep it in. The clash of the two Eagles players sees a boundary throw in.
Yeah, there we can see Corey McKernan. The doctor looking at his knee, I believe. Gee, that'd be a big loss because they struggle to kick enough goals anyway, Carlton, at the moment without him.
Boundary throw in. Gasper caught. And now we'll check in with Francis Leach.
You're right there, guys. It's definitely Corey McKernan's right knee that's giving him a lot of grief, and he seems to be in a bit of pain at the moment.
Well, maybe you're not quite close enough there, Francis. It looks like the left knee that is being attended to, and I'd say that there would be some very large concerns on the Carlton bench at the moment because he's an important player. You've got to take, not Prendergast, Merrington away from defence, and he's doing a pretty good job back there, Andrew Merrington. There you see him gather the ball. Taken away there by Williams. Handball over the top, Philip Matera. He gives it to the advantage of. And a goal has been kicked by Andrew Williams. Andrew Williams has kicked his second goal, and that was set up by some disciplined play by Philip Matera.
Well, I can't believe that Philip Matera, I think he's one of the best small forwards in the competition, that he started on the bench, and they just kept the ball alive, the West Coast. Philip Matera, gee, Andrew Williams, got to give him credit. That wasn't the greatest handball to receive, Robbo, knowing that Mansfield's coming the other way, but he kept his eye on the ball, and Mansfield didn't take him out of the play. So a very good goal under a lot of pressure. Andrew Williams, 2 goals. Andrew Mackay has to tighten up.
Second goal to Andrew Williams, but the concern for Carlton, apart from the scoreboard, is with Corey McKernan at the moment. 7-point margin. Plunkett had a couple of centre clearances. Still working hard, Jimmy Plunkett. Umpire letting it go. Good umpiring just before Ben Cousins was to break. How they have to restructure here. Will they have to take Merrington up forward? I mean, Favola's come onto the ground to full forward.
Merrington is already in there doing the ruck work now, Matthew.
And the Bronx cheers for Michael Mansfield's been taken off the ground by Carlton.
Back with Ben Cousins, though. Running for him is Matera. Good tackle by Wiggins. They were streaming forward there, the West Coast Eagles. There's the tackle by Wiggins on Cousins. Just outside the centre square. Six minutes remaining in this first quarter. Merrington, only as far as Cousins, straight up in the air. Punch forward by the Eagles. Bradley right with Matera. Wiggins lays another tackle, but the handball is excellent from Matera. It's opened up Gasper. He's inside 50. He heads to the goal square. McKay goes back. Disciplined punch by the 4-time All-Australian. And it'll be another rush behind to the West Coast Eagles. 2-4-16. Double the score of Carlton 1-8.
Just wonder about Andrew Mackay. I know against Geelong last week he had 4 goals kicked on him, Robbo. Whether it's time that he needs to be pushed in the midfield. I know the defence isn't too strong at the moment, but gee, I think he'd be a class midfielder.
The kick in from Camberelli has found Fletcher. Fletcher goes in towards the middle. Mackay takes the mark and plays on. They must score from this foray up forward. Good kick to Favola. Couldn't take the mark. McIntosh wearing him quite closely. Fletcher has the ball underneath Bradley. He's looking for the free kick, Bradley, and he's going to get it.
Well done. Consistent umpiring, Robbo. You said it.
But it's the perceptions of the players then, isn't it? If the umpire's going to do that, you wake up pretty quickly.
Yep, you get the ball on, and I think it's going to be great for football, and the 2 umpires have made the right decisions.
Bradley beckoning. Whitnell provides. He goes in the Whitnell direction. Couldn't take the mark. At the back is Beaumont. Can he get past? He can. Snapshot with his right to the front of the goal square. Mark taken. Strong play by Cox getting back and helping out his key defenders. Goes short. Mark taken by Banfield. Looking to play on. Matera. Run down. Got it back to Banfield. Good one-on-one there. Now he's got it back, Peter Matera. He's going to get caught. No, he's not. He's a slippery little eel, isn't he, Peter Matera? Cunning. Short kick is good. Mark taken down here in front of us by Andrew Embley.
Oh, gee, he showed some class then, didn't he, under pressure?
Embley gets it to Colliker in a little bit of space, can play on. He wants Williams up forward. Cutting in front, though, was Doring. It ends up with Wirapunda out into space. Going back there is the big fella. Now it's Quentin Leach in his first appearance. This is going to be his first kick in league footy. Is it going to be a goal? Gee, it's not a bad effort, and he's done it. Oh! Quentin Leach coming off the bench, his first game. Sure, he's going to remember that forever because it wasn't a bad effort. He's got up off the ground and kicked the goal.
Well, I don't know how quick he is, but gee, he was strong. He just left Luke Livingston, who's still probably trying to fill in his body at the moment. He'll have to do a lot of weight, but the way he got off the ground, he's kicked that from 45 yards. He will remember that, no doubt, Matty. Your first goal in league football, it's just a great feeling. But gee, that was strong play, and he looks like he's built to play the game too.
Well, I think the brick outhouse has been compared a few times in football, in all sorts of sport, but there's one of them out there making his debut today for the West Coast Eagles, and it was a terrific effort by Quentin Leach. He's kicked the Eagles' 3rd goal. They lead 3-4-22, the Blues. Just only 1 goal, 2-8. It's not good enough. We've played 23 minutes of football. They've only managed 1 goal.
And they're missing another brick outhouse too in Troy Wilson. He's taking his spot.
Gee, that was a terrific effort. I mean, for confidence, that would do him a tremendous assistance from that bounce. Cox appealing as though he was being grabbed by the jumper. Umpire decides on to bounce once again. Andrew Merrington having a spell in the latter part of this first term.
Trent Houghton into the ruck, Robbo.
Well, he's a great competitor, Trent Houghton. He's done that job for the Blues quite a lot since getting his 2nd chance after debuting with the Magpies. Now out wide, chance here for the Blues. It's Campbell, nuggety little player, gets the hand pass back, concedes a bit of ground to Doering. Doering's kick into towards the pocket. Fletcher couldn't take the mark. Wirapunda does a good job and knocks it clear with 3 minutes left in the term. 22 plays 8. The West Coast Eagles lead by 14 points. 2 goals to Andrew Williams, 1 goal to Quentin Lynch, and for the Blues, Beaumont has kicked a goal.
Lynch off the rookie list this week, straight into the action. Hunter came over the top. Campbell at the back of Judd. This is Fletcher. Chris, and that's Simon for Carlton. The 2 Fletchers there. Got it to Camberelli. Out in front of Favola. Ball somehow stays in, for a while anyway. Carlton players appealing for a free kick. Hickmont saying, what's going on? It's not to be. Brett Ratton is such an important player for the Eagles, for Carlton. Just the 3 disposals in this first term. Got Chris Judd with him at the moment. This is Lynch.
Too easy.
It's going to suit Lappin though. Back to Campbell. Geez, it's tight there. Somehow they're trying to work it out. Bradley, a couple of knock forwards there. One from Bradley, one from Plunkett. Whitnell spots a player out the corner of his eye. And that's Scott Camberelli. So out of nothing, Robbo. got themselves a set shot and goal.
Yeah, it's the smarts of Lance Whitnell. I mean, the efforts from Lappin and Campbell over there on the boundary line were to be praised, but this boy's got a tremendous football brain.
Well, he's worked his way through 4 players in, and they should have tackled a lot better than that, but still had the chance to balance and vision to kick it to Camporelli. So in space, I was just going to say, with the class of Whitnell, McKernan, Hickmont, Favola and Lappin in their forward line, gee, to kick 1 goal at this stage is not good for the Blues.
Just the 3 goals for the season for Camporelli. It's just going to stay that way. 3 goals, 2 now for him. And late in this first quarter, Carlton really did need that. The margin is back to 13 points.
3 goals for the year, you said, Matty, for Scotty Camporelli. Gee, that's not a great return. He has had a lot of injuries this year, though.
McIntosh kicks in. Campbell couldn't break away. He's against 2 very experienced campaigners in Peter Mateer and Glenn Jakovich. Helping out as Wooden gathers after slipping the tackle, kicks down towards the wing. It covers the players in that area. Trent Houghton gets back. The ball bounces away from him. He's able to gather and get the ball back. Thornton, short kick is okay, and Whitnell has taken the mark. Bad marking there by Embley. Allowed Whitnell to run away. Kicked the ball in the direction of Ratton. Goes past Brett Ratton and his opponent in Fletcher. And Beaumont tackles Jakovich as the ball falls over for a boundary throw in. About 55 metres around from the Carlton goal. Just 1 goal, and we're well into time on. There's 25.5 minutes has transpired here in this match so far. So 5.5 minutes of time on. Leach is doing a terrific job. For a man playing his first game, they'd be very happy, the Eagles. Jakovich kicks it back. Oh, strong stuff. Terrific stuff by Thornton. He's taken the mark close to ground level. He can go to Beaumont. The kick is a little ordinary, but Beaumont had a little bit of meterage there on his opponent. He can go over the top to Whitnell. He goes through the line there. Whitnell gathers, kicks over his left shoulder. Mark should be taken. No, a little bit too far away there for Colica. Bounces away from Alistair, Ashley McIntosh. Bradley, shot for goal by Favola, hits the post. Behind, kicked by Brendan Favola. Bradley creating the opportunity. Look at Favola. He thinks it's going through. No. Crashes into the woodwork. Blues 1-4-10, trailing the West Coast 3-4-22. Low scoring game, excellent conditions. No reasons as to why we shouldn't see more goals on the scoreboard.
2 straight kicks. Inside the last minute, we're a punter. Whitnell punches it back, chance for the Blues, inside the 50. Ratton to Camporelli, can he make amends for his miss before? He certainly can. Right before quarter time, the Blues have got their second. It all came from the punch, Tony. Good punch from Whitnell, disciplined stuff, and we often see that from kick-ins. Everyone's set up in the zone, and you've got players in front.
Well, I think Camporelli should be sending Lance Whitnell a couple of Christmas cards this year, because he should have kicked the goal about two minutes earlier from Lance Whitnell, who set him up about 40 yards out. But that's a Camporelli we know from the past, running through, linking up with handball and making sure of kicking goals. His 4th goal for the year, as I said, a pretty ordinary return, but he has had injuries, but they need a lot more of that from their midfielders who haven't kicked enough goal.
Gee, look at the class there. The
Williams,
experience of
Kernahan, Silvani.
football.
They could still go out and get a kick now, Robert.
Oh, it's tremendous, isn't it? And if they can pass on some knowledge, there's a couple of young fellas here doing pretty well for the Blues. Fletcher kicks into the pocket, punched away, lapping at the fall of the ball, gives the hand pass back. Chance here for Fletcher, kicks across his left shoulder, gathered by Kerr, his left foot kick. And it's taken there for the Eagles, kicked away back towards the wing. Now it's a big crunch situation for the Blues. Campbell was there, then Camporelli, then Plunkett, and eventually Fletcher not able to get away with the football. He's a little disappointed there, Simon Fletcher, so maybe in that passage of play, the ball slipping out of his grasp. There's the scoreline, West Coast by a goal. They lead 3-4-22, Carlton at 2-4-16 at quarter time.
Livingston going to Embley once again.
That left knee of Corey McKernan's, as we saw them break, was very heavily bandaged, Matthew, for the Blues. It's bad luck.
Umpire Rosebery to begin the second quarter from Optus. 6-point margin as Cox comes over the top. There's Cousins, bumped out the way by his teammate in Haynes. At ground level, Hickmont. Camporelli wants the free kick, gets it. Yeah, he did it well, didn't he?
Yep.
Kerr fell for it, put his body in the right spot. Now switches wide towards Plunkett. He's got to beat 2, and he gets a terrible bounce. Kerr had run on well and slips the tackle and opens up Williams. Williams now towards Embley coming out. Pack forms, good courage there by the big Carlton player, and he got the smother there. They're away now, Houghton. Camberelli, plenty of possession. This will be number 10. Out in front of Whitnell. Jakovic comes over the top with this ball. Jones, Lappin, out in front of himself. Avola comes to help out. Lappin wants a free kick. Play on the call. Players dive in.
Where's the footy? I'm sure it's under Matthew Lappin's body here.
Yeah,
but he doesn't really succeed. It's in between his legs.
I don't think it was in the back either. He didn't fall totally on his back.
Well,
but
if he doesn't get up and try and knock it clear of his legs, why wouldn't that be a penalty against him?
Well, the umpire's thinking that he doesn't know where the ball is. That's probably the only reason behind not giving it hole in the ball.
It's what's called keeping your thighs on the ball.
Oh,
very good, Matthew.
Out in front of Lappin.
Working beautifully.
He's going again. And this time he can't get clear. But he's getting himself in the right spots at the moment. He's already had 7 possessions. We know he can kick goals. When he's kicking goals, he's very dangerous.
His start last week was ordinary by Matthew Lappin's standards. He might have got a rocket during the week. Whitnell doing the ruck work, knocks it clear, Ratton to Bradley. No space for Bradley, run down by Wooden, caught illegally, getting rid of the football, so he's penalised the veteran, and Josh Wooden, for his perseverance, is rewarded. Gets it to Peter Matera, in turn to Cox. Cox goes across the ground, and the mark is taken here by Colica. Looks to play on quickly, does. Banfield has made position just forward of the wing. His short pass is pretty good.
lovely.
Well done. And the mark has been taken here by Andrew. It's Embley who has the football 50 metres from goal for the Eagles.
The young Cox, he's just got some great ability for a boy who's so tall. I think he's, 202 centimetres. So he does it at ground level. Very good agility for a player of that height.
Embley going for his first goal. He missed perhaps a chance that he should have kicked in the first term. And from 50 metres, he's missed on this occasion too. Across the face of goal, punched away. Disciplined play by Trent Houghton getting back and forcing it behind for the West Coast Eagles. So the Eagles, the first score of the second term, are behind. 3-5-23 the West Coast. Visiting the Optus Oval this afternoon. Round 12 football on Fox. And West Coast lead 23-16 early in the second term.
Short pass ends up with Plunkett. Beaumont's just come off to have a quick chat on the phone, and Davies has come onto the ground. Oh, Whitnell unluckily went to ground. Might suit the Eagles here. Good work though. Plunkett.
Well done.
McKay was the man that got it to him. Well, Camperelli's under some pressure, and they've got it back to Whitnell. Now they've freed up a player.
Ratton's a chance.
Campbell. Well spotted, Robbo. Ratton runs to 60 metres. No one inside the forward 50. Needs a really lucky bounce here. Which way is it going to go? It's going to take its time and roll through for a point. Completely open forward line. Not a player inside the forward 50.
Just didn't quite have the leg speed, did he, Brett Ratton, to take advantage of the fact that he was out in the open, and then in his endeavours to get the distance or kick it closer to the goal square, hooked the kick. McIntosh, there's the sea of faces in the Richard Pratt stand here at Optus Oval, enjoying this clash between the Eagles and the Blues. Daniel Kerr, Jones and Wooden combine. On the end of it is Cousins. He's a beautiful kick on the run as Ben Cousins. He may go for the goals. He does, and he pumps it all the way to the square, and Matera, Phillip that is marked, and that's the advantage of when you're on the run, get into the clear and pump it and put pressure on the defenders.
Well, Trent Houghton did the right thing from the kick out. You can see Phillip Matera here. He just used his body well. Matter of fact, he feinted that he was going to go to the ball earlier on Franchina, which made him stop in his tracks, but this will be an easy goal.
And that's exactly what he's done. He's kicked the goal for the Eagles. So Phillip Matera kicks his first goal, and the Eagles get the first goal of the second term. They lead 4-5 to 2-5.
Great transference from the kick in. As I said, Houghton hit it back, but it went straight to an Eagles player. Wooden to Cousins. Cousins runs a line. I think he was going on goal. You can just see Matera, he used his arms to think he was going to go forward at the ball, and Franchina just gave him an extra bit of space to work in. Gee, he's a dangerous player. I think he's one of the best small players, small forwards in the competition.
John Worsfold probably not that happy with Phillip Matera. He's coming off, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with with what he's just done.
So that was preordained, that move, was it?
I don't know.
Now, he's kicked the goal. You just say, all right, stay on. We'll give you another 5 minutes.
It's team balance because they brought on big Quentin Leach. Here's Cousins once again, driving it long towards the goal square. Livingston got to beat Embley. And hits the behind post, so we'll have a boundary throw. And it was Philip Matera's 20th goal of the season, and now he's just having a chat to John Worsfold.
I don't like the way he kicked it through the big sticks. It's amazing, Robbo, isn't it? You kick a goal like that.
Held to just 1 goal last week, very quiet for him. Deep in the forward line once again. Gasper, got to beat 3. Not going to. They want holding the ball, it's not to be. 16 minutes remaining. It's a 12-point margin to the Eagles. They led by 6 points at quarter time. Ball up once again. Houghton gets rid of Gasper. Falls for Fletcher. He's got a bit of time. He's directly in front. He hooks it back and he kicks the goal. Well, 2 goals in a row to Chad Fletcher. And that is an important one. It just seemed that Tony just seemed to have a lot of time there, given that it was a ball up, as you see on the replay. A little bit lucky with the bounce, just ran onto it.
Well, I
think
Wayne Britton will be going to the captain and saying, Brett Ratton, where were you on that occasion? Maybe thinking that he could read the ball better off the pack in defence, because Fletcher is tagging Ratton today. Just too much space and too much time. Yeah, you've got to put time into your opponent. Doesn't matter how good you think you can read the ball off the pack. You have to do your job once it's deep in defence.
Well, some concerns there for the Blues. They're 2 goals 5 and they trail now by 18 points. The Eagles, the first couple of goals in the second term. Hickmott to take it away. Gets his kick away. Not too bad. Towards half-foot. Camporelli couldn't take it, but Wirapunda does. He's caught from behind. Hickmott applies the pressure, but the Eagles combined pretty well. Jones was about 4th in line there. Kicked it out wide, and he's directed the football in the area of David Haynes. He couldn't control the football. And takes it over for a boundary throw-in. Blues fans getting involved. They haven't had much to cheer about. They might have got a little excited last week when they hit the front with 26 seconds to go, only to see the win snatched away from them by that magnificent effort by Peter Riccardi for the Cats. This is Ben Cousins. He's putting in an effort in the early part of this second term, leading his team. He kicks the ball towards half-forward. The ball spills to the back of the pack. Running past it there was Thornton, gathered by During, gets the handball to Camporelli. He's the playmaker, he can go all the way. He can carry it all the way, see Scotty Camporelli. He'll kick from 50 and he'll kick a goal. It'll bounce through for a... Behind Scott Camporelli, 1 goal 2. And the Blues, 2 goals 6, trailing the Eagles 5-5, margin 17 points. Not a high-scoring game by any stretch of the imagination as we watch McIntosh prepare to bring it back in.
Camporelli, 13 possessions. And Ben Cousins, his opponent, has had 8. Camporelli with a goal.
Once again, McIntosh goes long. The punch again came from Whitnell, but twice this quarter, the Eagles have read it the best. So we've got Camporelli at one end, Cousins at the other. 2 bounces. The kick out towards Embley. Going back over the back of Wiggins. A chance now for Williams for his 3rd goal. He gets back. Goalkeeper there for Carlton was Luke Livingston.
Great save. Great save. That's World Cup special, that.
Been watching the television, perhaps, but Williams would be disappointed. It was a woeful kick.
It was a shocking kick. I don't think he meant to kick it along the ground. He just didn't make a good strike on the ball.
Yep.
Young Davies has come on too, Matty.
5-6 to 2-6. It'll be During to bring it in. He goes to the goalkeeper in Livingston.
Thornton, no.
Thinks about him. Decides to go long. Pack forms. Houghton came over the back, couldn't get it. Fletcher, give on the up. It's all Eagles though. It was Chad Fletcher there to Wirapunda. Goes without it though, an error. But the Eagles have the numbers. They've got too many players there. Cousins becoming very effective. That kick also effective. Miranda marks just inside his forward 50. It's been an on and off already this afternoon, Miranda.
A couple of great clearances from the kickouts from the West Coast Eagles, but now Ben Cousins maybe just getting back into the game. Camporelli dominant in the first quarter, and the runner is going to Camporelli now. We can see it on screen there, saying maybe we have to tighten up early in the second.
Miranda going to be stretched for distance. Not a bad kick. Goes all the way. He's got enough on it. The Eagles get another. Terrific long goal from Mark Miranda, and you can catch all the great goals and all the great highlights of round 12 on the winners on Sunday nights at 7:30 on Fox Footy. And from the Eagles' point of view, Tony, just starting to... this is a bit of a margin now, isn't it? 24 points.
Well, that man who just set that goal up again, as I said, Ben Cousins, a couple of great clearances from fullback, and that is a big kick. Mark Miranda, we know, has got a lot of ability, but just has not done it week in, week out over his career.
Well, there's Ben Cousins and Brett Ratton, the respective captains here. The teams, the Eagles and the Blues. And Ben Cousins, instrumental. He's had a terrific 11 minutes of this term, Ben Cousins. Bounce of the ball back at the centre. Houghton takes it away. A left foot kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Lappin appealing. Was he held? No, the umpire ignored it. Jakovic out wide. Goes to Wooden. Wooden off the left. Good kick too. Gives his big ruckman plenty of chance here to run onto the footy. That's Cox. And he, confidently, little hand pass. Fletcher ran in support. Little kick by Fletcher's pretty good too. Lynch couldn't take it. Miranda, he's going to get run down. How did he get rid of the ball? He's still got it. Now he's able to get the hand pass out wide. Lynch was grabbed, didn't have it. Played that pretty well then, Lynch. Didn't really take possession of the ball. And Justin Davies there fell for the three-card trick. Attempted the tackle and the free kick paid to the rookie big man for the Eagles. 55 metres from goal. It's a big kick. It'll land the ball right in front of the square. Punched away by Houghton for a rush behind to the Eagles. 4 rush behinds to the West Coast Eagles on my scorecard. 6-7 to 2-6. Margin, 25 points. Pretty well halfway through the second term. Philip Matera resting on the bench as we watch Craig Bradley prepare to bring the ball back into play for the Blues.
Low driving kick, brilliant kick to the man who is responsible for a couple of those rush behinds in Trent Houghton. And this is a promising move by Carlton. Fletcher. Lappin was at the crumbs, but getting there first was Jones. McIntosh around the body. Simon Fletcher goes to ground. Carlton fans want a free kick. Clever handball from Lappin back to Fletcher. Got a couple of players to pick from. One is Ratton. Off one step around towards Jakovic and Whitnell. The bounce favours Whitnell. The goal to Carlton. You've got to be lucky sometimes in footy.
There's a couple of Powerball tickets available to Lance Whitnell when he comes off the ground. He might have tasted all of his luck right there.
Also, Tony, Simon Fletcher was involved a couple of times there. He's picked up 10 possessions. He's working very hard. Yeah,
had a great game last week too, but luck's a fortune, isn't it? Jakovic has done the right thing here. He's played in front thinking, well, this ball's going to bounce through. Well, you're right, it's Tats Lotto stuff, that. And it just scraped in.
Terrible for the defender. Well, the Blues were very, very fortunate there, and they have got their third goal on the scoreboard through Lance Whitnell. Good fortune. Merrington at the feet of Judd. Lappin. Beaumont wider still. Hickmott. Support running from Fletcher. Hickmott. Tony Shaw spotted him for you, folks. And Hickmott has marked 50 metres from goal. Looks to kick it quickly. Now decides to go long. Kicks 4. And he's kicked the goal. Oh, you shouldn't have touched it, Andrew. You might have got the goal yourself. Oh, dear me. It's a goal for the Blues. Andrew Merrington has kicked it. The Blue Boys are on fire at Optus. They've kicked consecutive goals and they get to within 13 points of the Eagles.
Well, there's that man again, Fletcher. But it happened from the centre bounce. What happened was this man, Hickmott, pushed forward and had a lack of concentration from the defenders on the West Coast Eagles. He had 50 yards by himself and they won the centre bounce. It's just too easy to get a man 50-yard clear in your forward 50. Bad play by the West Coast Eagles defence, or someone in midfield just didn't drop back in time.
Doing well, Andrew Merrington.
He certainly is, Robbo. He's got 7 goals for the season, but more importantly, Carlton have got 2 in a row, and they can bring this Optus crowd into the match. Something to cheer about for the Blues fans. Margin back to 13 points. There's Merrington once again. They've been good out of the centre, Carlton. Ooh, Camberelli went down. Goes towards McIntosh. Still down behind play. Keep an eye on that. McIntosh leads in the race to the ball. Favola comes at him. Slides over the boundary line and Camberelli isn't a spot of bother.
Well, Matty, a lot of people say that Scott Camporelli at times doesn't go hard enough on the ball. He's not that built for that, but gee, a lot of courage on that occasion to run at the ball like he did.
He's going to be okay by the look of it. He's taking a little bit of time to get his feet.
Lappin somehow almost got it to Davies. Backpedaling was McIntosh. Support from his captain and Cousins. Here they go now, the Eagles on the rebound. Camporelli's up and running. Banfield. Williams. Here's Campo. Almost got the tackle. Williams drives it long. Open goal square. Need a good bounce. Oh, what's he done, Haynes? He's had an area and finished it off with a goal. And gets a push at his back for his shovel. Great transition by the West Coast Eagles. Haynes gets his first. And they've stopped the comeback by Carlton, the mini comeback, as we see Camporelli there. Knew it was coming. Miranda, well, he didn't really try and clean him up. It was just position, wasn't it? It was just circumstance.
Yeah. Oh, look, he had to go. And the problem was his man, Banfield, recovered quicker and then linked up on the wing and got the ball forward. So Haynes there could have lost his footing. But well done, well balanced, and a good finish by the youngster.
Well, just as the Blues made a slight surge towards the Eagles, kicking their third and fourth goals, back come the Eagles, a goal through David Haynes. Good positioning of the football by Andrew Williams. Ratton gives away a little bit of ground. Back to During. During goes high, just the way the forwards like to sit underneath the kick. Just coming through the air ever so slowly. McIntosh working for Vola. Well done by Judd. Got the hand pass. Kerr gets past his opponent with skill. Then kicks short. Mark taken by During. Just left lamenting there at the back was Andrew Embley, but the kick coming in was not good. During goes in towards the middle. Taken here by Livingston. Handball. Shares the footy with Thornton. Thornton now goes straight down the ground. Kicks to a contest. No contest because Ratton was in front. Took the mark. Fed it off to Fletcher, playing pretty well for the Blues. Fletcher, the ball a little too high there for Whitnell. Led his man to the football, but judging it better was Jakovic. Jakovic now kicks it out wide. Chance here for Franchina. He slips. What do they put in their boots these days, Tony? Nothing, obviously. Plenty of players slipping over. Miranda on the base of the pack. Taken away from Thornton. Just the momentum there before David Woodapunda. He kicks the ball into the pocket. Mark not taken there by Haynes. Back goes Wiggins. He's under pressure on that last line of defence. During, great hand pass. Livingston, he's got Davies in support. He's got to share the football. No, he goes into the middle, ignores that, and the mark is taken by Campbell for the Blues. He goes out wide and honours the play there, Davies, who was on his own for quite a few seconds out there on that half-back line. In short into the centre, mark taken by Favola.
Favola's got a player out wide, and it's Fletcher. He has got a paddock to run into. Simon Fletcher. It's been everywhere in this second quarter. Runs to 50, takes his time, kicks it to the goal square. Over the top came Lappin. Ball spills off the punch for another rush behind. But a promising build-up from Carlton. They're just starting to share the ball a bit better out of their defence instead of kicking blindly. As the brothers Matera stretch on the sidelines.
Simon Fletcher's had 13 possessions, but he hasn't had a man in this quarter. It was David Wirapunda when he was on ball, but Wirapunda's gone to the forward line now. So he'd have to tighten up. Had a fantastic quarter, Simon Fletcher.
The margin is actually 18 points. It's 7-7 to 4-7. McIntosh, big pack there. Whitnell does the disciplined thing with the punch. Gets a free kick. Advantage paid. Hickmott. Got a bit of couple, has a player out wide. Camporelli's got one in the first quarter. He stops, he steadies, he kicks, and he goes. Another goal to Carlton, Tony, resulting from a disciplined punch from a kick-in.
Yes, it was just great play, wasn't it? Whitnell, Lance Whitnell, he's been involved, I think. He should have had 3 goals to his name, or set up 3 goals. Camporelli missed one earlier, and then he set up the last 2 for Camporelli. Great punch back. Hickmott under a bit of pressure, got the ball out wide. Good play by Wayne Britton. He's pushed Camporelli to a half-forward flank now, thinking he couldn't run the whole game out. But, geez, a dangerous half-forward, and finished very well on that occasion.
Well, Francis Leach, you're down there on the boundary line. Another Blues player sitting it out with an injured wrist by the look of it, Brendan Favola.
Yeah, it looks like he's having his right hand manipulated. It might have even been a dislocated finger, but I'll ask at halftime and find out what the problem is.
It looks to me like it might be a wrist problem. Ratton, Merrington, still Ratton, tries to get a foot to it. Merrington shares it with Davies. Davies kicks it forward. Now the chances with Camberelli. Gathers, hand pass, Rutten. Hand pass wider still. Chance for Beaumont. Beaumont may put the Blues right in this game. No, second poster. Favola in the first term. Beaumont in the second term. And the Blues fans all to their feet. Disappointing result. 5-8 to 7-7 margin. 11 points in favour of the West Coast Eagles late in the second term.
That man again, Camberelli set that one up to Beaumont.
Matera with the long kick. This time McIntosh is his target, so a switch there. Let's come off for the Eagles. Banfield. Matera's come straight onto the ground. That's Philip Matera. Straight off the interchange bench into a possession. Breaks through the middle. Long ball. Haynes on the long lead. Going back, taking a very good mark. Merrington has been good. He wanted to play on, he did. Davies has to be quick. Thornton. Hickmott. He has to be quick as well. We got it to McKay. Watch this guy go. No worries about that. He knows exactly what he's doing. He had no one to kick to. Straight to McIntosh. Thanks, Andy. Jakovic. He bangs it back. Merrington going back for his second mark in a minute. Spoiled came. Davies, good tackle. Wrapping up Michael Colliker.
Andrew Merrington doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
A rookie by games played standards, hasn't done a lot of ground time in AFL, but this could be a game that might change his career.
I don't know whether it's going to be a pure ruckman over the history of his career when he plays a bit more, but probably a key position player, but he's done a great job, shown a lot of courage at last marking contest.
Got a free kick there in the ruck contest, and the infringer was Lynch. No, it was Gasper actually. Short kick by Chin. They've coughed it up. Chance here for Judd. With his skill, you'd reckon you'd mark down a goal now. Chris Judd from the pocket kicks across the face. It's out on the full, I would have thought. And that's the way the goal umpire has seen it. Gee, missed everything. You wouldn't believe that, would you? Coming off the ground, Colliker. There's Chris Judd. He's made such an impact in his first year. The kick by Merrington finds Hickmott. Gives it away, back to Doering. Doering goes wider still. This is Livingston, outside his defensive 50. Kicks long out towards the wing, mark taken by Beaumont. They've put a couple of eggs in a big basket there with Beaumont on the forward line. His kick has found Lappin. The Blues could do with a goal here. The momentum swing may go with them into the long break if they can get a goal here and get to within 5 points. Lappin's kick into the pocket, not really the advantage. Big Red is not happy with that one. He reckons that the opposition may be hanging on. Umpire, settle down, Lance. And Lance is going to do the ruck work up against Leach in the left forward pocket for the Blues. They trail by 11 points, 38 to 49, close to half-time.
Ball bounces awkwardly. Whitnell slaps it over. Oh, gee, that's a lucky bounce of Mansfield. He didn't kick it. Gets the boost from the crowd. Rushed behind by Glass.
Can you get rattled in a situation like that, maybe?
I think, Matt, Michael Mansfield's just lacking confidence at the moment, and he's public enemy #1 with all the Carlton supporters at the moment.
14 scoring shots apiece. 10 points the margin. And this time again it's McIntosh, so that's been a clever switch. That's not a clever kick from McIntosh. Good work by Fletcher. Strong and presence of mind to tap it to Camberelli. On the rebound has Lappin inside 50. Simon Fletcher take a bow.
I agree with you, Matthew. Those sort of things sometimes become unnoticed in football, but by gee, he does work ever so hard, Simon Fletcher.
And it's great to see because he's tired. It's great to see. We see the replay here. Just presence of mind to get it to Camberelli. And finally someone came over. It was Camberelli and said, pat him on the back and said, well done, Simon. I appreciate that.
That's professional play, what he did there, and also strong play.
Lappin spotted a player at the corner of his eye. It's Michael Mansfield.
Some cheers now.
Hey, don't go too early, Robbo. He hasn't kicked it.
If he kicks a goal here, he'll be a hero. You watch the difference to the Carlton supporters in front of the Robert Heatley stand who were booing him 2 minutes ago.
They're a fickle lot. Once you've been out there and played a game, I think you realise that.
It'll be his first goal for the year. He's played every game for the year. He's kicked 2 points. From 30 metres, he kicks it, but he gets Carlton back to within 4 points. Nice spot up by Matthew Lappin. We're seeing a different Matthew Lappin today. We're seeing he's playing further up the ground and sharing the ball around. But there is Michael Mansfield. He'd be very relieved man to get that goal.
Well, this has all come about, I think, just the dominance in the middle of the ground. Their clearances have been better. Ratton's got on top in the centre. Simon Fletcher's been brilliant on a wing, just had his own wing to himself. And Mansfield, Joel, would be a very relieved man having kicked that goal.
Yeah, big stats for Fletcher. 13 possessions, Camperelli 16, Merrington 11, 10 each to Ratton and Hickmott. And for the Eagles, 11 to Cousins. And he's the only one in double digits for the West Coast Eagles. The umpire to restart play. We've got 5 minutes left. Going to be plenty of time on. 26 3/4 minutes in, so we've played 6 3/4 minutes of time on now. It'll be well over 10 minutes of time on to be played in the second term when the quarter does finish. So what looked a pretty good lead for the Eagles has been whittled down now. Only 4 points the margin between these two sides. With 5 minutes left, you could see the Blues in front at half-time. Ruck contest, ball spills to Hunter, hand pass, Bradley robs him, can't get his foot to the ball, Craig Bradley, goes after his opponent who was Wooden doing a pretty good job tagging Bradley in the first half of this match. Disciplined play by a youngster, Josh Wooden, against a veteran in Craig Bradley. One of the veterans of the Blues, Adrian Hickmott, having a spell on the bench. Important gather here for Lappin. Can he get past? He tries to back his way out of trouble. Davies does well. Lot thought of by Justin Davies in this Blues lineup. Camperelli couldn't take the mark. Peter Matera gathers, runs away from halfback. He's got a little bit of space for himself now. Into the centre, punts the ball directly towards goal. Livingston does well, punches it away, out wide. Chance here now for Glass. Gets the hand pass away. Miranda! Oh, kick smothered off the boot. And it's forced up against the woodwork for a behind to the Eagles. 50 plays 45, close to the long break here at Optus Oval. Eagles lead 7-8 to 6-9.
Let's head down to the boundary once again with Francis Leach.
Robbo, you're spot on. It was the wrist that's giving him trouble. Favola was running the line just moments ago, bouncing the ball and just seeing if he could actually hold it properly and get it on it. Might be okay for the second half.
Well, he's an important player. Kicked 4 goals last week in that revival against Geelong, but with McKernan off already with a problem with his knee, every forward is worth their weight in gold. For Carlton, there's Plunkett towards Merrington. Cox just bashes it back. First there, unbelievable skill from David Wirapunda. Matera wants Jones, doesn't get a good bounce. Davies approaches, Wirapunda back to lend a hand, did it well. Got it back to Jones, they switch it nicely. Kick might be a little bit too long though from Miranda. He gets another bad bounce. Fletcher probably put Doring off there, but Doring just bangs it forward, relieves a little bit of pressure. In fact, they've maintained possession. That was an ambitious handball from Camperelli. Haynes backs himself, kicks it back towards his forward 50. Pick a blue. 3 of them there to contest or to take an easy mark. One of them was Thornton. Switch play. Oh, gee, it was lucky in the end from Davies, but Franchina takes the mark. He goes back to Davies. McKay wants it. Direct running, short pass. Just 15. Campbell off the left. Up towards Mansfield. Jones right with him. Here's the dangerous Matthew Lappin. Keeping it alive. Carlton inside their forward 50. Not for long. So with 2.5 minutes remaining, it's the West Coast Eagles 50, Carlton 45. Carlton have kicked the last 3 goals as 19-year-old Quentin Leach in his first game looks on, sitting next to 19-year-old Daniel Kerr, a man who's played 30 games. Fletcher over the top, didn't get it. Jones. Off the ground went Hunter. A couple of one-on-one contests. Miranda got rid of his opponent in Doring twice. Back through the middle, it's a clever kick. Matera wants to get on with it quickly. Long pass towards Embley, low. Livingston right behind him. Embley measures the handball. Haynes back pedals. Now tries to go back towards Embley. Gee, it was a hidden hope, wasn't it, Tony? Because you put him in a horrible position.
Well, Haynes, he's been quite impressive, but you've got to look at the Carlton defence too, Matty. Livingston, Thornton, Wiggins, Doering, they're only kids and they're holding up very well under pressure at the moment in the second quarter.
Yes, they certainly are. 6 games, 2 games, and 1 game coming into this game, those 4. Not much experience to call on. Plunkett got it from Doring, not far enough. Cousins, dangerous, around the body, not a bad effort. Almost a mark taken by Glass, still in trouble. Was that too high? Play on. Wiggins, shot pass just threads a needle. And Doring is told that he can go on with it. And he does so to Merrington. So the Carlton youth combining in defence. Fletcher, best man on the ground in this second quarter. Here's another youngster in Campbell. 5 teenagers out there for Carlton. Wanted Ratton, didn't matter. McKay, a couple of all Australians there. They combine. Such a contrast to this Carlton side. Lappin, magnificent mark. Inside the last minute, a goal to Carlton would put them in front. Jakovic with the spoil. Whitnell hit it back into the corridor. Wooden got it to Matera. Matera drives from outside his 50. No one to kick to though. It's all Carlton. 3 players there. Merrington. Some talk from Plunkett tells him settle. You've got plenty of time. Plunkett bangs it to another player standing his own. How does that happen? Campbell inside forward 50. It's all West Coast here. McIntosh will go back and take a mark. Let's keep his off at the minute, Tony.
Oh, gee, the Blues have had a total dominance around the middle of the ground. Their half-back line's playing very well. They just can't score up the other end. For how much of the ball they've had, they probably should have scored a lot more in this quarter.
Glass running. Direct football, straight down the middle. Franchina didn't take the mark, but kept it in front of him. Quick give. Doring to Bradley, to the wing. Campbell. Back inside to Doring. They've had plenty of possession in this last few minutes. In fact, they've had 30 more possessions than the West Coast Eagles. And just when you thought the West Coast were going to dominate this quarter, they got out to a 4-goal lead. But similar to the first quarter, where Carlton have switched the momentum, they kicked the last 3 goals in the quarter. Camporelli has got a couple for Carlton. And they're certainly right back in this match at Optus Oval. They've lost Corey McKernan, but they're getting plenty out of their youngsters. At half-time here, West Coast 7-8, leading Carlton 6-9 by 5 points.